Hi Foren, it's Samantha Brown here from Solent Premier Property, and as promised I am giving you a 12 at 12 little live stream video. So I thought I would give you some key tips on how to do things in property and other various things with a little kind of 12-minute short video at 12 o'clock, probably on a Tuesday. So if you're going to like this, then give me a like down below or a love, and I will do some more of them. So I put a poll up yesterday evening in the Foren group asking what you guys wanted me to talk about. There were lots of different options: how to find a property, where to look, what kind of strategy to do, how to buy property without having any money, what other things did I put up there? Just various property related things, and with way more than half of the votes, you guys wanted me to talk about how to get started in property without having any money. So I'm guessing that you haven't got any money. So what I will do is give you some kind of key pointers, and then I will post sorry, I've just got a WhatsApp notification from Mark, which means he probably can't see me here. So I'm going to quickly share. I don't know how, this is really annoying. If you can invite people, then just invite them below, or click share so that other people can see that I am doing the live video. Yes, so how to get started in property without having any money. So there are some key points really to think about. So one, you haven't got any money. Does that mean you haven't got any money at all? You haven't got any cash flow? You haven't got any capital? So what do you mean by not having any money? Most people are referring to not having any capital because they think they need a lump sum of money to be able to go and buy a property, which is true if you're going to buy the property. So the first thing I would suggest, that if you're going to go and get involved in property and you haven't got any money, the thing you could do is what is called rent to rent within the industry, but also if you're going to go and speak to letting agents and things, you might want to call it corporate letting, have a slightly different variation on what you're putting yourself out there as. So you can go and rent the property from a landlord, the owner, and then you then rent out rooms again, or you rent out the property again. And so you're making a profit on the difference of what you're renting the property from the owner and then what you're actually renting out the rooms. So that's called rent to rent. There are lots of courses and things that you can do to learn all this kind of stuff, but I'm just giving you kind of my background from being a letting agent when people used to come to me. So some key things to talk about with estate agents and letting agents is you're the professional, you're the person that is going to be paying the rent on time every single month for a guaranteed period. So say something like 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and the landlord is going to get their money always on time. There are no voids, there's no risk of anything going wrong because you're, as in you, are going to be looking after the property. So the landlord doesn't have to worry about the maintenance. The landlord doesn't have to worry about people not paying their rent. The landlord doesn't have to worry about people moving out and people move in, taking a month to move in, and so having a gap. So rent to rent is a really good thing for the owners of properties and for landlords, and it's really good for you as a property investor because it means that you can take control of a property without actually having to put in a big lump sum of money. Now, you are still going to need some money because you're going to have to bring the property probably up to a standard where you can rent out rooms on an individual basis. So normally the kinds of properties you're going to get from a rent-to-rent point of view aren't going to be amazing because there's a reason they're hanging around on the market, and that's why the landlord's more likely to look at giving you the property on a long-term basis rather than renting it out themselves. So I'm just going to have a quick hello to everybody who has joined me. So thank you very much for coming live on air with me. So I'm going to say hi to Mark. Hi Mark. Hi Hells. Thanks for your comment earlier. I'm really glad that I do always live up to what everyone thinks of me. For those that don't know, Hells asked about travelling to different places to go to networking meetings, and I said that I do. Hi Mark, nice to see you as well. So Mark's put 2 to 3k to spruce up. Now, I know some people who are involved in serviced accommodation, which is a fancy way of basically doing rooms like hotel rooms, so on a nightly basis, 2 nightly basis. Contractors, you get in for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Those tend to be about £5,000 to bring the property up to the standard where you can then rent out the rooms. But yeah, if you're just looking at an HMO, then 2 to 3k is, could be enough. You're going to need the money for the deposit as well, because lots of letting agents are still going to want to deposit, but you're not spending that money. It's going in a scheme and you're going to get it back. So you will still need some money, but you're not talking tens of thousands of pounds. You're talking a couple of £1,000 instead. So yes, Mark is agreeing with me, and that's because you've done all the courses. I'm just talking from my experience of being a letting agent. Yes, so let's see, what does Tony put? Plenty of students in our area, but properties are rare. It's a real landlord's market here. I don't know where you are, Tony. Let me know where you are, and I'll. I'm not sure if that's a question or just a comment, but I'm happy to take questions. So ask them below. Ask them below. Ask them below. Yeah. So rent to rent. That's the first one. And then rent to rent means that you can then go on and do other things like HMOs, which means lots of people living in the same property, renting out rooms, still for a longer period of time. Serviced accommodation. Normally you're looking at like 1 night to a few weeks. You're not looking at up to anything like 6 months. I'm getting really hot, by the way, so I'm not totally stripping for you. I'm just taking a scarf off, don't get excited. Yeah, so service accommodation you can do under rent to rent as well, and lots of other things. So rent to rent is the first one. So you're renting the property off the owner, and then you're in effect subletting the rooms, and you have to have the right kinds of agreements to do that, because some ASTs won't let you, some leases on flats won't let you do that, some mortgage companies won't let you do that. So always look at all the different technicalities and all of the like legislation and everything that you need to do to make sure that you're not doing it wrong and treading very, very fine line in some areas. So rent to rent. Number 2, borrowing money off other people. I have no doubt that lots of you have parents who have equity in their homes, who are mortgage free, or who have pensions. Some of you might even have pensions yourselves, where you are coming up to 55 and you can take your lump sum, which is 25%, which is tax free. Obviously you can take everything, but you're going to pay tax on it. So your 25% lump sum from pensions or equity in homes, savings that other people might have, even ISAs that aren't doing particularly well, especially if they're cash ISAs. Why would you keep money in a cash ISA? I mean, it's a nice tax-free wrapper, but you're not actually, investing your money. Your money's still depleting in value. So borrowing money off friends and family is the other way that I would say that you can get involved in property really easily, without having to have a big lump sum yourself. So parents are normally the kind of first port of call for a lot of people. Going to them and saying, this is what I'm looking at doing, these are the kinds of properties that I'm going to be buying, these, this is what you can see, we can go and drive past your property, your money is going to be safe because look, there it is, there's that house, there's this house. And you can do things like actually just borrow the money and have a nice little agreement between yourselves. So-and-so, I'm loaning X amount of money to you, and then you're either paying interest or they're your parents, so they're not charging you anything. And then if it's nicely written up, then everybody's nice and safe, and there is no problem in terms of let's think about this, what could go wrong. So things that could go wrong, so if you invest together, one person could run off. It's friends and family, so even so I would say always make sure you've got everything written down, checked over by a solicitor who's acting in everybody's interest. So here we go, let's have a look at some more questions. Tony has said he's in South Leicester, so I guess rent to rent will be hard to get in the area. I don't believe anywhere, definitely not Leicester. There's nowhere in the country where there aren't any properties available. There are, you've just got to word it in the right way. So going back to rent, the problem I think lots of people are having in the property investor world is that they're going in to letting agents and saying, I am going to rent to rent your property from your landlords, give it to me, and then I'm going to let it to loads of different people. And you're really scaring the letting agent, because first of all, they think there are tons and tons of people going into the property. They think they're going to miss out on their money, so their fees, and they think that something might go wrong and that the landlord's going to be stuck for a load of money at the end, or they might be. So put it in a way that the letting agent's going to feel safe. So say, I appreciate that you have your fees, so I will be paying your 10%, your setup fee, whatever, the whole way through. restate the fact that you're guaranteeing the rent, so that you are the professional, you are doing corporate letting, and you are the person to be trusted. What you then do with the property is kind of almost by the by. You're the person that's taking on all the responsibility, and then the letting agent doesn't have to do anything for their money, because that's all they're really concerned with. So that's the rent to rent point of view. Mark Evans has put, find a sourcer if you can't find a property. That's a really good idea. Check them out though, make sure they're an okay person too. Always do your due diligence. So Reza has put, my income is low and I have 10k, can I buy a property? I'm in London. Probably not. I'm afraid in London. You probably could up north somewhere. I'm sure there are like 40 grand properties, but you probably wouldn't get a mortgage on those. So what I would suggest, Reza, is listen to the rest of this video. Rent to rent you could definitely do. You could get a couple of properties with the money that you do have and bring them up to the kind of spec that you need to be able to rent them out nicely. And then also you could borrow some money off friends and family to then make your pot bigger, and just do it on a straight, you're borrowing some money off them in return for interest. So Mark's put lease options. Yes, I know they exist, but they're really complicated for the average person, Mark, so all I'm talking about are really simple things. So rent to rent, or borrowing money off friends and family to put into your deposit to then go and buy something using other people's money, and then you can pay them back. You can pay them interest, because bear in mind they're only going to be getting pennies of interest from their bank. Don't say sorry. Mark's saying sorry, he's fine. Yeah, so they're going to be getting hardly any interest, so anything you give them is pretty much going to be better than what they've already got. I'm way over my 12 minutes. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up now. So borrow some money of friends and family, get a nice agreement signed by everybody so everybody's safe and you all feel nice and secure, or do rent to rent, go into letting agents. It's corporate letting, you are letting from the landlord, they are safe and secure, and then you're renting out the rooms again. If you've missed all of this and you have no idea what I'm talking about, go back to the beginning. I'm probably going to do some more of these if they are well received. Can you give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying this, or if you would like to see some more of me? Or my videos, or learn about this stuff, so give me some thumbs up. Yay, I've got some love. And hello everybody, thank you so much again for tuning in. I purposely want to make these really short, so I'm going to probably do a lot of them. So if you want to see some more, give me a thumbs up, comment below. Really quickly, to answer your question, Stuart, is it possible to make money with buy-to-let, the new tax changes? Absolutely. Just buy it in a limited company and then it doesn't even matter. So yeah, always learn some stuff, and then you can carry on doing everything that you want to do with your life, with financial freedom, with property. There are always ways around things. So yeah, so cool. Thank you very much everybody, and I will speak to you all later. Thank you. Bye.